Hey everyone, it's the Jace Man here, and today I'm going to teach you a really cool trick, and that is how to make IE Tab Multi automatically preload certain web pages in Internet Explorer tabs. The reason you might want to do this is if there are certain websites that you go to on a frequent basis that you know are IE only, that you have to use the IE tab for. This just allows you to set it up so that no matter how you get to that address, whether you type it into the destination bar, the little address bar here, or you click on a link, or doesn't really matter. Bottom line, doesn't matter how you get there. It's automatically going to preload it into the IE tab so that you don't have to open the tab and then use the address. It just saves you a lot of time. Real convenient. So here's how we do that. What you're going to want to do is right click on the IE Tab Multi icon in your Chrome toolbar. It is important that you right click. If you left click, it's just going to load their default search engine. So what you want to do is right click on it, and then you're going to see different options. What we're looking for, conveniently, is the one that says Options. So Options is our option. Alright, we're going to click on that. A new tab is going to open, as you can see here, and this is the Settings page, or the Options page for IE Tab Multi. There's a lot of stuff on here. It can get really confusing. My advice to you right now is pretty much ignore it. If I don't address it, ignore it, okay? We're going to focus on one section and one section only, and that's where it says Auto URL Pattern, okay? So you're going to find that. You're going to look for Auto URL Pattern. Now there's a couple things that we want to do here. It's very easy, but the first of which is to make sure that we actually enable the feature. So if this box is not checked, if you load the page and it looks like this, you're going to want to check it. Okay, that's the most important thing. You have to enable the feature. If it is checked, leave it alone. Okay, now this little box here, you'll notice I've already got some addresses in here, and that's because I already want these pages to load for me automatically. So mine already has some addresses in here. More than likely yours will be blank, or it might have one example in it, like a test example from their site. I'm not exactly sure how that's set up, but yours is either going to be blank or have one line. If it's got one line, I actually recommend that you blank it out and start a new one, but it doesn't really matter. So all I'm basically saying is ignore the fact that I have 4 options already selected. These I actually use for work, and that's why they're there. If you're one of my classmates or coworkers, you probably want to actually add these addresses. But let me show you how to add an address that's not there, okay? There's a couple things that I want to cover. The first thing is you can add one address per line. So you notice I just dropped down to the next line. Now let's say that I wanted to add a link that's always going to open in IE tab. Now you may want to use some address that your work requires you to use, or something of that nature. For the purpose of this, we're just going to tell Google to automatically open an IE tab. Now I strongly caution and advise that you do not open Google in IE tab, so don't do what I'm getting ready to do, okay? But you would add whatever address that you do want to open. Anyway, for this example, we'll do Google, and then I'll take it out later. So you want to start out by typing your HTTP. Now here's what I recommend that you do. I have not done it in the addresses before because I know specifically that those servers are going to load in either secured server or not secured. But you may not know that. You may not even know what I just said. That's okay. You don't need to be. You don't need to know. All that you need to know is follow my recommendation here. Whatever address you're going to put in, you put in HTTP, and then I recommend that you put the little star or the asterisk. That's simply a wildcard. That means I will accept any character you want to feed me here. And that means it'll load either HTTP pages or HTTPS pages. It really won't matter. And that's good, because you don't want it to matter. Then you'll do your colon, your // Then you're going to put in your address. In this case, it's going to be www.google.com. Well, you might have a page that doesn't have the W's, or you might not know if it needs the W's. Again, that's where the star comes in handy. I'm simply going to type star. You could think of that as www. I'm just telling you, you may want to use the star instead of www. So I go star.google.com. Now what I recommend is you do another star, because that means no matter anything that's on Google, whether it's secured or not secured, if it has a Google domain in it, we're going to open it in the IE tab. Okay? So the way this works is I've got http://star.google.com. Okay? Star. Okay? That's the same thing as me typing well, let me explain differently. Those stars just mean that this could be any character. So if you're not going to use the stars, you may actually want to do it like this: http://www www.google.com http colon slash or s colon slash slash www.google.com http colon slash slash google.com http colon or s colon slash slash google.com. Now you can see why I use the stars. Basically, these little stars here, they're taking place of all four of these addresses because I don't have to know the right address. All that star basically means is, hey, I'll take anything you want to give me. So it's going to look like that: http colon or http star colon slash slash star dot google.com star. Then we want to save it so that it loads Google, always in the IE tab. You can save it by clicking on this little button here or by pressing Alt F1. After you save it though, the page is going to nicely tell you that that's happened. What's really cool is now anytime we visit Google, it's not going to load in Chrome's default browser, it's going to load in the IE tab. I'll show you how that works. You can see I already have a tab open with Chrome here. It's setting in Google, right? It's setting in Chrome. No IE tab here. But if I refresh this page now, my browser is going to go, hey, I better load this in the IE tab. And you can see now I've got my little IE tab, my IPA protected mode, and I'm looking at this Internet Explorer. That was just for me reloading the page there. You can see that it also works, like I said, with links. You don't have to type the address in or reload a page. Here I already have a link that someone sent me. It goes to google.com. So I simply click on that link, and boom, you're going to notice that it's going to open up in the IE tab as well. So this saves you a lot of time, and you don't need to tell the page, hey, I want to use IE tab. It already knows that. So give it a try. Let it save you some time. Enjoy the little tip. Have a good day.